Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We pray that you had a very successful day, even though this day is coming to an end, but yet still, it's a good day. Not as cold, not as windy, and sure enough, not as much snow. And so I'm here to just share a couple of things with you, and then I will be out of your way as good evening, Minister Rhonda. How are you? And we want to share these things with you so that you'll understand where we are, what we do, how we do, and how God does. This is an overwhelmingly important thing for us to get. Gladys, how are you? Erica, good to see you. I'm grateful to God. Carolyn, how are you? Nancy, good to have you with us. Grateful for those of you who are coming on. I don't know how many will come on. I told the earlier group that I'd be on at 6 to share just a couple of things with you. And so we'll go from there. Nancy, Denise, Patricia, how are you? Doe, how you doing? Tom, good evening. Wesley, how are you doing? Again, grateful to God. Sister Thomas, how are you? Grateful to God for the privilege and the opportunity to be able to come. I hope the subject doesn't scare people off, but because it's not a snapshot, it's something just a little bit different. And I believe it's going to help us tremendously. Okay. Linda, Sharon, Cecile, how are you? Praying that everyone is in good health and in good spirits as we continue to grow in the knowledge of the Lord. I got 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started in what I wanted to share. Now, it's up to you as to whether you want to share this with someone. I'm not going to be on here a long time. I'm letting you know that right now. Um, yeah, Cecile, we're doing the best we can. If you had looked on my page, you would have seen the machines that they brought in to plow the lots. And the one machine I had never seen before. But yeah, it's. We better enjoy today and tomorrow because after Thursday, I believe, is when the temperatures are going to nosedive. They're going to drop horrifically. As a matter of fact, Thea, how are you? As a matter of fact, I'm going to really judge the wind chill on Sunday morning because if it's too cold, like if we're in the minuses, um, I'm not going to let people come out because even my essential workers need to be protected. And so, we're doing the best that we can and doing, what we can do when we can do it. And we're going to go from there. But grateful to God for those of you who are on with us right now. We're grateful for those that will be coming on. And we'll go from there. Sylvia Scott, how are you? And let's see what happens. Davida, how are you? I pray that all is well with you and everything that the Lord has put upon your hands. Okay. Um, if Sunday is a bad day, and I think that the wind chills are that, yes, I'll preach from home, and I won't even get out in the street and drive to Youngstown. I'll just stay at home, do what I need to do. Okay, Michelle, good to see you. Praying that everything is healing up well and you're coming along just fine. Well, let me get started. There's three things that I wanted to talk about. Matter of fact, it's actually four now that I want to talk about. And the first one is first fruits. Many of you know that the beginning of every year, the Union Church fasts, and that's what the Daniel fast is for, where we sacrifice that which we normally eat. And the truth of the matter is, um, I have I have learned. I'm gonna tell you what my granddaughter did to me, and it really was a convicting moment. I have my granddaughter is one of the kind of kids that you just want to slap, because what they say has so much truth to it that you can't do nothing but acknowledge that it's true. And everybody, got one of them. Okay, I love her. Believe me, she loves me, because when we went to celebrate my daughter's birthday, she was like, "Where are you sitting?" Well, wherever you sit next to me. She's my baby. Okay, and so she looked at me and she said, "Now you're fasting, right?" I said, "Yes, I'm fasting, and your grandmother is fasting, and we're doing this and seeking the Lord." And I said, in the midst of that, a lot of the evidence of the fact that we are fasting is the fact that we draw closer to the Lord. You got two. Okay, we draw closer to the Lord, and it's there's also the benefit of weight loss as well. And that's not why you do it, is to lose weight. Good evening, Gina. How are you? But you do it, the weight comes off because you have changed your diet. As she turned around and she looked me dead in my face, as only she can get away with, as she said to me, "Well, it just doesn't make sense. If it's so healthy, why do you go back to the same thing?" My first reaction, well, you don't need to know what it was. But then when I looked, and I mean, she wasn't blinking. Myrna, how are you? She was not. When I say she was staring into my soul, and every year that we fast, I say what I'm going to do. Every year that we fast, I say what I'm going to do. Every year that we fast, I say what I'm going to do, and I don't do it. I fail in that area. Why? Because this sacrifice should have some evidence, okay? Should have some evidence in my life beyond about 6 months after the fast is over. Are y'all catching? And so, yeah, she was telling the truth, and you can't get mad at somebody who is basically telling you, "Well, why aren't you doing what you say is good for you?" Okay, and so the Daniel fast, and for many of I've talked, and some of my members and people that I know have text me and inbox me and all that, talking about the amount of energy they have now. That even for myself, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Take and hey, Minister Sarah, as Pastor Thomas was said, confession is good for the soul, but bad for the reputation. I have a horrible habit of working all day and not eating anything, and then I come home and I eat like it's the Last Supper. Well, the stuff I was eating made me lethargic. um, it got to the point where I became overwhelmingly sleepy. And so I found out that now that the diet has modified for the sake of seeking the Lord, my energy levels are different. But now I will say this: when it's time to go to sleep, it's time to go to sleep. Okay. And I got my Fitbit, and my Fitbit, this thing here is notorious at around about 10 o'clock, Ayana, saying, "I believe it's time for you to prepare for bed. I believe it's time for you to relax. I believe it." And so this mechanism on my arm has monitored me so much that now it knows when I should be tired. I used to be the kind of person that would stay up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, get up 6 o'clock in the morning, boom, be ready to roll. But 9:30, 10 o'clock, it's time to rest. Fasting changes that. The food changes that. That's why we use the Daniel fast. If you know, in the Old Testament, Daniel was challenged because the king said, "No, this is what you're going to eat," and Daniel said, "Well, you can feed me that all you want to, but I'm not going to eat it." And the challenge is, if you allow us to eat what we eat and your servants eat what they eat, after so many days has gone by, come back and do an evaluation. Woo! Oh, I'm about ready to jump. I'm about ready. This has kind of been going on anyway. And the Bible says that at the end of that time of testing, the king came back and noticed that Daniel and his friends looked healthier than the rest of his servants. And guess what he did? He mandated that the food that Daniel and his friends were eating were now the food that everybody had to eat. So that's the reason why we do it. And Erica, here's the thing that we've got to do. We got to hold each other accountable, because it's easy to go back to fried chicken. Y'all can sit up here and act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. It's easy and we do need to have, Laverne, how are you? We do need to have some levels of protein. I'm not saying that you just stop everything, but it has to be in moderation. And if you cannot stop yourself, ain't no need in you starting it all over again. And so you need protein, steak, fish, whatever. Not during the fast, Erica. Not during the fast. I had to throw that in, and she know what I'm talking about. And so these are the things that we do. We do this not, Sister Rains, how are you? We do this not to lose weight, but to lose weight. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We sacrifice like we do to lay aside every weight and every sin that's right. That's right, Katrina, that easily besets us. Okay. Moderation. The problem with moderation is it has to be learned. Hey, Jaleesa, how are you? Good evening, Debbie. It has to be, I had to say something, Erica. You know I did. Don, talk to us, okay? There are some things, okay? There are some things that God does during this time of sacrifice. Your thought processes are clearer. Your hearing and your relationship with God changes. The word of the Lord, that's why we're reading through the Bible in a year, changes. Everything changes because you are lessening, listen to what I'm saying, you are lessening the obstructions that are in the way that don't allow you to appropriately sense and walk in the will of God. Oh, do I have two people that can catch where I'm coming from? And so this is what you've got to recognize. This is what you've got to see. Well, how does first fruits play into that? It is overwhelmingly important, because we got to remember that the Jewish people are a people of principles, Patricia. They are a people of principles. The thing that many of us, and I'm including myself, is that the reason that we don't do well, and we don't do well in our churches with money, is because we don't understand principles. All right. I'll tell y'all this story. I'll tell you this story, and you gotta catch this. When I first came to the Union Church, Union was a fundraising church. Every time you turn around, somebody was trying to raise money. Raise money, raise. You couldn't come in the door. Somebody had, and so we had built the building, and I said, this is not working. I said, we are robbing Peter to pay Paul. And in the midst of that, I said, we need to tithe. We need to become a tithing church. And I'm teaching the principles of tithing, because tithing is a principle, just like first fruits is a principle. Okay, y'all gonna catch it, because the Jewish nation is a nation of principles. Okay. See what I'm saying, Don? You don't really know what you're missing until you do it. And the level of clarification, your ability and your cognition totally changes. Okay. And so we did it. We became a tithing church. That's a difficult thing for Black churches to do, because Black churches have always, for the most part, been fundamentally raising money. That's what they do. They have events, they have things to raise money. Yeah, and yeah, them dinners and all the rest of that stuff. Because here's what you're doing. You're pulling money out of people's pockets to buy the stuff. Then you got to take the sacrifice of folks, okay, in the time to cook it and then prepare it. By the time you do all of that, you might as well have given to the Lord. Oh, see. Yeah, first fruits is a principle. What's a principle? Okay. The law of gravity is a principle. Now, I want you to catch this. It's a principle whether you believe it or not. Woo. Because gravity is going to function in its principle, because that's what it does. Yeah, no more chicken dinners, no more all of that stuff, no more gleaners, no more all of that stuff. If you give the Lord 10%, if each member gives 10% to the Lord, then God multiplies not only what the church can do, but what you can do. See, y'all don't like, but see, we have not as a people been raised to know how to manage money. Here's what many of us do. It is not all of us, but here's what many of us do. Because we don't know how to manage money. When you look at another culture that's got money, they don't dress like us. They dress plain, they dress simple, because they understand that their wealth is not in what they wear. Oh boy, I hope I don't step on nobody's toes. Their wealth is not in what they wear. Broke folk spend money trying to make people think they got something by what they wear. Oh. You look at these millionaires and these billionaires, they ain't running around here dressing like us. They ain't wearing some of the stuff that we wear. They are plain and simple people, but they understand the power of money. Okay? The power of money. They understand how to manage it because as children, they are raised by their parents to understand principles. You don't have to talk to them about tithing because it's already in their culture. You don't have to talk about first fruits because it's already in their culture. Okay? Are you hearing what I'm saying? If we were not taught properly, it is overwhelmingly difficult for us to manage money. And that's the reason why when the pastor stands up and says, bring all of your tithes and offerings, the first thing that happens in the minds of many people is, I ain't giving that, you know what, all my money. That's the first thing they think. I'm not going to let him do whatever he want to do with my money. And we fail to understand that once we have released it, it is now God. Oh, y'all don't like me. It is God's responsibility to manage it. It is not your responsibility to question. It's your responsibility to trust God. And if the pastor mismanages the money, God will deal with that pastor. Okay. So it's a principle. First fruits is a principle. It is a principle that helps us to understand clearly how God operates financially. And when you're a tither, he says that there will be meat in my house. What's my house? The house of God. When you tithe, it is for the maintenance of the church. It's for the welfare of the church. It is also to take care of the pastor and to take care of those who are not able to take care of themselves. That's what tithing is for. It is not for the shiesty who want to come along and don't put nothing in it, but think they should get everything out of it. I could preach on that. I could teach on that. And I could talk about that, because the people who raise the most Hades are the people who don't hardly give a dime to the church. People who support the work of ministry, you don't hear nothing out of them. And let me tell you why you don't hear anything out of them. They don't need the benevolent fund. God. They don't need the missionary. They don't need all those things, because they understand that by operating in the principles, God supplies their needs. Can I get a witness? Say, I know y'all don't like me. I know. I'm going to get off of here in a little bit. I've been on here too long. Okay. So tithing is a principle. First fruits is a principle. I'm going to read a passage of scripture to you. And I need you to understand something so that you can see this, and so that you can grasp this, and so that you can understand what the word of the Lord is actually saying, because this is overwhelmingly important. Now, here, listen. Proverbs 3:9. And somebody said, well, that's in the Old Testament. So is tithing. Oh, okay. Tithing is in the Old Testament. Tithing is in the New Testament. First fruits is in the Old Testament. First fruits is in the New Testament. Here we go. Y'all ready? Honor the Lord. Wait a minute. Honor, not Pastor Harrison, not Union Baptist. Honor the Lord with your possessions. Now, you got to remember, Back then, it would have been fruit or livestock, okay, because they lived in an agricultural setting. Right now, our possessions is the money. Honor the Lord with your money and with the first fruits of all your increase. I've always been bewildered about people who make $100,000 in a year and their first fruits is like $200. There's no sacrifice there when you make that kind of money. I ain't gonna tell y'all what my first fruits sacrificial, and it is a sacrifice. Okay, all right, believe me, it's a sacrifice. Okay, not only am I a tither, but 30% of my income I give back to the church in tithes and offerings. Y'all better catch this if you don't catch anything else. All right, y'all, Darnice, are you catching me? Honor the Lord with your possession, with the first fruits of all your increase. Anytime God opens a door, anytime I teach in a seminar, anytime I preach somewhere, anything I do, God gets his 10%, boom, off the top. I don't even think about it. Okay? Wasn't like that a long time ago because sometimes that 10% hurt. But when the God of your salvation teaches you the principles of money management, which means what? I quit smoking. Which means what? I quit drinking. What means what? I quit going out here and spending money on stuff I really don't need. Which means what? Are y'all hearing me? Which means what? I tamp down on some of my entertainment because I understand some things that I do, I really ain't got to do. Which means what? If I can't afford it, I don't buy it. Jesus, help me. If I can't pay cash for it, I don't need it. Or if I charge it and can't pay it off, I don't want it. Well, I was going to tell y'all something, but I can't. Because see, then the people will go out of here and say he bragging on himself and he doing all of this kind of stuff. Y'all need to understand that the credit world will open doors for you that you don't even have to walk through. Jesus. I have one credit card that I use. When I use it, I pay it off. When I use it, I pay it off. And if the purchase is too big, I will sacrifice something that I want for the sake. Sister Thomas, stop. Are you killing me? Some things that I want, I will wait until I can get it so that I can manage it. Because, let me help you. If an emergency comes, if the hot water heater breaks down, if the cars break down, if the furnace breaks down, just not too long ago, we had a backup in our home from the rainwater because the way they built the house, they took a pipe and ran it under the driveway. And so what happened was, because that concrete dropped a couple of times in the process of time, and they came back and they repaired it, they tamped that ground down. Well, that ground crushed that pipe to the point that it was not able to drain. So when it rained real heavy, the water would back up in the garage. It would come out of the downspouts, all kind of stuff. And so we called this plumbing company to come out. And when they got done telling me how much it was going to cost for them to fix it, I said, will this fix my problem? Because what they did, they went on one side and did some things and put some new pipes in. They ran it a certain way so it connected to the other side. I'm not going to tell you how many thousands of dollars it cost for them to do what they did. And I did not use a credit card. Oh, yes, I did. I used the credit card and paid it off. Okay. Are y'all hearing me? Now, somebody might say, well, you got it like that. You a pastor. No. I understand principles. Principles teach me I can't get everything I want when I want it. Some stuff I got to wait on. I got to make sure I can manage it, because if I can't, I need to leave it alone. some of the luxury things in my life I ain't got to have right now. It'll be okay. I got enough clothes. Ladies, don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. I got enough clothes. I got enough shoes. I got enough coats. I got enough. I am not one of those kind of persons that go in the closet and talk about, oh, I ain't got nothing to wear. The devil is a liar. I got stuff in my closet that I ain't wore yet. But the point of the matter is, that's right, Jaleesa. Never mind. Never mind. That's right. Leave it alone. Because I'm trying to teach you principles so you can understand principles only operate in the lives of the disciplined. Did y'all catch this? I know some of y'all ready to hang up and go on about your business. He says, if you do this, verse 10, so your vats will be filled with plenty, and that your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. Y'all didn't catch that, did y'all? Pee-wee, did you catch that? Katrina, did you catch that? Y'all didn't catch that. Because when I come back again, I want to show you something else, but I'm not going to give it all to you right now. I'm just going to give it to you in bits and pieces, because I need you to understand. Don, listen, Don. You are doing well for someone who is first venturing into this. But here's what I've learned. I need, well, number one, I have the gift of giving. I need to have revenue and resources for the unexpected. Now, I know I'm getting ready to get in trouble right now, but a lot of things that are fixed, repaired, or done at the Union Church does not come out of Union's budget, comes out of my pocket. Because I don't want to deplete the revenue of the church because I got employees. I'm going to tell y'all something. During the pandemic, are y'all ready for this? Y'all ain't ready for this. During the pandemic, when nobody was in that basement but me, everybody still got paid for over a year or so because it was not their fault that the pandemic hit. I made sure that they still had their livelihood just because the pandemic hit. See, y'all don't like me. A lot of things that happen don't happen through the budget of the Union Baptist Church. I do stuff out of my heart because God has blessed. Okay? See, that stuff folk don't know. Those are the things that people don't see. People don't recognize. People don't understand, because the heart of a real shepherd always looks out for the well-being of the sheep. And if there's ever been, and I know pastors that do this all the time, if there's ever been somebody who has sacrificed to make sure the people of God have never gone without, it's the real pastor. It's the real pastor that does that. Okay? And so you honor him with your possessions, with the first fruits of all your increase, so that your barns will be filled and your vats will overflow, so that your 401k explodes, so that your investments overflow. Okay. Yeah. But see, the benevolence, Darnice, does not need to actually activate through the church. Benevolence should actually activate through the people. If you see a need, don't call me, take it out of your pocket. But it's hard, Darnice, to be a blessing to someone when the only person you think that should be blessed is you. I know I lost y'all. I know I lost y'all on that. Because many people are not benevolent minded. They are so consumed. They are so consumed with themselves that they don't have room for nobody else. Okay. You catching what I'm saying, Darnice? That's what people don't understand. But see, you can't be a blessing to somebody and you broke. Did you hear me? You can't help somebody and you ain't got nothing. The Lord has blessed us. Okay, there you go, Darnice. In the heart. But see, out of the heart you speak. Out of the heart you actively engage in things. And if your heart is only about you, you ain't never gonna be a blessing to somebody. And again, I'm not talking about the shiesty people. I'm not talking about the people who want to scam the church and they go out and blow all their money partying and doing whatever they want to do and then come to the church wanting bills to be paid. I'm talking about people who are legitimately hurting. Valerie, I'm talking about people who are down and out and been out of shape. You ought to be able to go and get. This year, the Lord blessed me to be able to give a little gift to all of my leaders, okay, that have been faithfully working during this pandemic. And I just wanted to show them out of the depths of my heart how much I appreciate what they do. Okay, y'all not ready for that. I want my vats overflowing. So where I go, I can drop blessings. So I can be a blessing. So that I ain't got to have people help me with stuff and all of that kind of stuff. This is how I want to live. Okay? Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? I'm getting ready to get off of here in just a minute. I need us to recognize that. I need us to understand that they are principles. And because they are principles, God says, I will honor what you do because what you are doing is as unto the Lord. Everything you give as unto the Lord. Hey, Valerie, every sacrifice you make, when you give your sacrificial gift of first fruits, God supernaturally intervenes in situations with not just money, but favor that will enable you to sustain your life at a level you could not have done without him. That's as far as I'm going for today. I'm going to come back and I'm going to share because tomorrow is going to be midweek. I'm going to do my Bible study and all that. But I need us to recognize and understand that it's a sacrifice, okay? It's a sacrifice. And that's what you've got to learn how to do. But in the midst of sacrificing, you must be disciplined. Okay? I know ladies, they go through the malls and they shop with their eyes and all that other kind of stuff. Men are different. If I ain't got no money, I ain't going someplace to be tempted. I don't have to compete with anybody. I got shoes and stuff in my closet right now that I may have worn once or twice. And people talk about, is that new? No, I done had it a long time. It's just the first time I've worn it. There are so many things that God will discipline you in so that you can live an abundant life. And that's when I talk about abundance, you ain't got to be a millionaire to live in abundance, because favor will stretch that 90% further. Y'all better catch this. Y'all better catch this. Okay? You got to catch this. And Darnish, you getting ready to make me shout. When you tithe unto the Lord and you discipline yourself, yes, your credit score will rise. I'm gonna tell you this, and then I'm gonna talk about the Church Growth Conference. Then I'm gonna talk about one other thing. I'm not gonna tell you the car that I was driving. I'm not gonna do that. But I had a problem with the car. The dealership told me it's gonna cost me $50,000 to fix it because of the kind of car it was. And I said to the Lord, no, we're not gonna do that. I drove into the dealership. I saw the car. As a matter of fact, the Lord showed me the car because the car wasn't even out front. It was back in the back. I saw the car. I said, is this it, Lord? The Lord said, yes. Call my wife. Had her come down, take a look at the car. I was able to give them the amount of money necessary to bring the payment within the range that I wanted to pay. And the same day, I drove off with the new car. My wife has done it. We've been able to do these things because of the principles that we have learned. Now, let me tell you, we didn't start walking in these principles when we had. We were walking in those principles when we needed. You'll never get there until you start at the point of need. All right, I'm done. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I got to run up to Sam's Club, pick up a couple of things, and then get back home. Church Growth Conference. Thank God for the numbers of you that have registered. We need you to make sure that you register. That is overwhelmingly important, so you can be a part of our Church Growth Conference. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up what these classes are so that you'll be able to see them, understand exactly what they are and who's teaching them, okay? Pastor TJ Thomas is teaching the class on how to shift in times like these, okay? Every one of you, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad it was a blessing, okay? I just want to make sure it was a blessing. I try not to do stuff like this because, sometimes people think you haughty or you trying to act like you all of that. I'm 65 years old. There are some things I'm supposed to have in life by now. Y'all, I know y'all don't like me. Lady Harrison and I should be at a certain point at this particular time in our lives because we've worked all of our lives, but we've also trusted God most of our lives. Pastor Thomas is teaching how to shift in times like these. How do we maneuver and navigate through some things? And then Pastor Ricky Shear, Dr. Ricky Shear, is going to talk about how is God present in days and times like these. Where is God in the midst of this? How do we see his hand? How do we see his handiwork in the midst of everything that's going on? Thank you, Katrina. January 25th, 26th, and 27th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Listen, I need you to get registered. It is only $10. Come on, y'all. Come on. Y'all know y'all got $10. Y'all can, and it shows you how to do it. You can either do it through Givelify, let it be known what it's for, PayPal, let it be known what it's for, or Cash App $Union 528. Let's get this done. Okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Good numbers are registering, but I know there's some of us out here, we kind of a little slow. We procrastinate. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then a few more days go by. Listen, need you to be in there. Need you to be in here so that you can be blessed. Yes, I normally do it at the end of the year. The Lord said, put it in the beginning. Because for the people of God that want to go through 2020 in the power of the Holy Ghost and in the understanding of the anointing, you need this in the beginning. Got one more thing to share with you. I sent the calling post out for my people. I did it for the state convention. I also posted it on Facebook. Okay. Right now, not tomorrow, right now, you can get online and go to www.covidtests.gov. That is covidtests.gov. You can get on there and you can receive 4 free tests for your household. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? I got mine's. Linda, I know Linda got hers. Nancy, I believe that, okay, Nancy ordered hers already. Are there any other people? Okay, Laverne, you ordered yours. Okay, good. Thea, you've done that. Listen, those tests right now in the drugstore, because the referendum on the pricing has been lifted, have gone from $10 to $15 to $25 per packet on the test. Tom, you got yours. Good. Don, you ordered yours. Excellent. Darnice, Good, good. Pat, good. Sharon, yeah, good, good. Andre, good, good. Gladys, good. You get them free. That is overwhelmingly important. Don't sit back and wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow that thing might crash. Thanks, Tom, for getting me that information too. I saw it and I did it. Listen, get those tests and keep your family and yourself safe. All right, Denise, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm done. I got to go. Myrna, did you get yours? Okay. And I wanted to make sure that you're safe. I want to make sure that you understand principles. I want to make sure, thank you for putting it up there. That's it right there. It's right there on your screen. Get them tests and stay safe. Okay. That is overwhelmingly important. All right. Now, I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. I want y'all to have a blessed evening. Thank you so much for giving me this time so I could share the principle with you so you could understand how God really. Okay. Erica has it where you can order them through the post office. The link is on her page. However you want to get it, get it. Okay? Because the pandemic is not over. We have not reached the peak yet. Okay? So I'm getting ready to get out of here. I love you one and all. Thank you for giving me your time. And I'm just believing God's going to do great things. Y'all be blessed. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Listen, the latter part of the week is going to get brutally cold. So whatever you got to pick up some stuff or do some stuff, get it done now. Don't wait till the last minute. Okay? You're welcome, Pee Wee. We love you much. Listen, may God bless you and keep you is our prayer.